What's up, losers? Today I'm back with some more r/nice guys hijinks. Taking a look at a couple of creepy, embarrassing, or flat out sad posts. Sharing my thoughts on them. And taking a few notes on what being a true, nice guy trademark involves. This is episode 20 in the Nice Guys series. And I can't wait to meet today's contestants. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I'm tired of women bullying nice guys. Most of these nice guys are just awkward dudes who are trying their best to find love. They offer to pay for dates and do anything they can to make the woman they want feel special. Of course, their kind gestures are ignored by modern women who think they are too damn good for everyone. Maybe some of these guys get upset, but I can feel their stress. When you invest time and money into a woman, just for her to make fun of you, for not being the perfect man in her eyes, it gets to you after a while. I've seen men with good hearts become bitter because of beaches like this. I totally blame women. They only give big muscular Brad a chance, ignoring red flags, and they get mad when he pumps and dumps them. But they don't screenshot Brad. I wonder why. TLDR, I hate when people make fun of nice guys.
Oh no, this is just awful. I wouldn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I guess I'd better wrap the video up here, apologize profusely, and call it a day. Just kidding, haha. No, I'm not having any of this manipulative nonsense. Like, sure, I'll agree that it's wrong to mock guys for striking out with women. If they conduct themselves appropriately, respect women's boundaries, and treat them with due respect. But that is very clearly not the case for the vast majority of dudes who end up on r/nice guys. Including this one, I might add, and most of these guys more than earn the thorough clowning that they inevitably receive. This post really is the perfect case in point for what I'm saying. I mean, even in his attempt to garner sympathy for the plight of the besieged nice guy trademark, and attain a reprieve from criticism, this guy can't help sliding into a misogynistic tantrum, calling women beaches for not reciprocating all male advances, totally blaming them for any subsequent indiscretions these rejected men might commit, and crying about how they don't give nice guys the same treatment they give, quote, big muscular Brad, when he, quote, pumps and dumps them. Charming. Try as I might, I really can't bring myself to have much sympathy for the average r/nice guy's punching bag. And the reason I feel this way is because they're only being held to account for their own crappy behavior. Nobody is forcing anyone to send unsolicited dick pics, or verbal abuse, or death threats. Nobody is forcing anyone to post hateful rants online, or make sweeping, inflammatory statements about women. These are all decisions that people make. And getting made fun of a little is just the price they'll have to pay for these poor decisions. It doesn't seem unreasonable at all to me, and considering that the sub is generally anonymous, it's hardly the end of the world one way or another. Do we sometimes go too far in criticizing people? Perhaps, and it's always worth reflecting on this possibility before we post something mean. That might not be wholly deserved. But in general, I find the criticisms leveled towards nice guys trademark more than fair. And if this guy's post was intended to prove that nice guys trademark really aren't that bad, then what can I say? It failed miserably, haha. Anyway, moving on.
Modern Western women are a complete mess, picky, degenerate, and liars. I have only had a crush on one girl in my entire life. And that was when I was 14 years old, and stupid. Don't say that I don't know what I'm talking about. I have interacted with many women in my life, went to a large high school, and am now going to a large university. I've seen firsthand what modern women, and men, are like. I wish that I could have my ability to feel sexually attracted to them stripped away from me forever.
Whoa, dramatic much. I really don't think you need to go that far. Like, things can't be that bad, can they? I'm sure there's a woman out there for you. May God have mercy on her soul. Although for what it's worth, there actually is a way of having your sexual appetite stripped away from you. If you've really got your heart set on that, I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with chemical lustration. I'm not recommending anything, mind you, just putting it out there, ha ha. Jokes aside though, yeah, I struggle to take this poster seriously at all. For a number of reasons. And that's not even including his comical flair for the dramatic. The first is that I tend to be pretty skeptical of broad, sweeping generalizations about entire groups of people. And when we've got someone boldly declaring that modern Western women, as a collective, are a complete mess, who are picky, degenerate liars, let's just say that I'm expecting some pretty damn compelling evidence to back this up. What evidence does the post provide? You ask. Well, get this, the poster, drumroll please, went to high school, but that's not all, he also went to university, and he's, quote, seen firsthand what modern women are like. Well, case closed then, right? What could be more convincing than one dude's clearly biased, random observations about women whom he, presumably, doesn't even know? That sure sounds like an airtight case to me. I guess women really do just suck, ha. I'm being sarcastic, of course. This guy's got frickin' nothing to back up his wildly offensive take. And his use of his own testimony really only made him look even more clueless. Like, his experience with women is literally just going to school with some of them. Yet he somehow feels qualified to make determinations about what modern Western women, as a whole, are like. What an absolute joke, SMH. My other major issue with the post is in its specification of modern Western women, in the first place. Because I think this says something pretty ugly about his expectations for how women should behave, and what roles they should be allowed to occupy in society. Like, when he says, modern women, I can only interpret this as a complaint about the rights and social autonomy women enjoy today, that were withheld from them in the past. And when I hear him specify Western women, this only strengthens my initial interpretation, because the West tends to be ahead of the curve in the global advancement of women's rights. And many non-Western countries still maintain legal and social restrictions on women's roles that have not been present in a Western setting for decades now. With all of this in mind, I think it's reasonable to infer that this guy's discomfort with women arises, at least in part, from a sense that women don't know their place anymore, and that things were better when they just stayed in the kitchen and did what they were told. On each of these points, I can only vehemently disagree. Women are just as valuable as members of society as men are. And they are just as entitled to make their own life choices too. If you have a problem with women living their lives how they please, because they aren't living up to your archaic expectations, then I hate to break it to you, buddy, but that's not women's problem. It's yours, and no amount of theatrical whining is going to change that. So get some help, I guess, and stop making a fool of yourself online. It's painful to watch, ha ha.
All my life, I've found and made success, whether it be through school, work, making money, staying healthy, etc. The one exception to this, however, is meeting a feasible life partner. Of all the women I've dated, each one finds new ways to be awful, or just a piece of shit in general. All the women I've met in my life turn out to be just disappointing. Online dating is a complete waste of time. Answer is meeting anyone off it. My whole life, I've just wanted the American dream. The house, cars, family, with cute kids, and attractive wife. I have worked so hard, and have achieved everything that I've dreamed of, except for the family part. Now, sadly, these days I think are over, and I've basically given up hope. Best part is that I've never cheated, or done any of my girlfriends wrong. Despite being a hard ass, I treat everyone with respect as it's deserved. I come with a good family, and take care of my partners too. I come recommended in the bedroom, and never run into troubles in the romance section. I like to think I'm a decent looking guy, and do meet attractive people. However, everyone just seems to disappoint.
This guy sure sounds like a catch, doesn't he? Not only does he come recommended in the bedroom, but he also never runs into troubles in the romance section. I'm not really sure what either of those things means, but they sure sound impressive. So clearly any girl would be lucky to have him, ha. Setting aside these amusingly worded boasts, however, my main observation about this post is how superficial it all is. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with appreciating material things, or valuing physical attractiveness in a partner, but I find this guy's description of the American dream, as a house, cars, and a good-looking family, in that order, pretty hollow, and frankly, pretty telling, as far as his priorities go. There's nothing there about finding fulfillment in the work he does, or giving back to his community, or living an upstanding life, according to his values, or anything deeper than the attainment of various things that he wants. And on the family, he doesn't even say anything about the actual relationships themselves. He just insists that the wife and kids be aesthetically pleasing to him. Call me crazy, but I'd say that having a happy, healthy, stable marriage is much more of a worthwhile aspiration than having an attractive wife, but not according to this guy. As far as he's concerned, life is just a checklist of objects and status symbols to attain. And even a man's wife and children are just items on the list to be attained then crossed off. And, what can I say, that just sounds like a sad way to live to me. My other main comment on the post is a little less philosophical. But I just wanted to put it out there that, when this guy says that the women he's dated are all awful, and pieces of shit, I don't believe him, ha. Like, I guess it's possible that he's just had really bad luck. And if that really is the case, then I apologize for my skepticism. But I generally abide by the rule that, if someone says it's not them that's the problem, it's the world, then I'm not inclined to believe them, because it indicates a real inability to self-reflect on their part. And without self-reflection, one can never achieve real emotional maturity. So yeah, I'm sure this guy wouldn't want my advice, but I'll offer some anyway. Maybe instead of chasing that attractive wife, like a bloodhound on a trail, to finish your list, why not slow things down a bit? Take time to reflect, both on yourself, and on what you really want in life, and try to build a relationship with someone based on more than superficial attractiveness and a desire to log down a wife. Just a thought.
Have you ever had a boyfriend that thinks about you constantly? It's because you haven't dated me. Have you ever had a boyfriend that when you wreck your car, buys all the parts and replaces them for you? It's because you haven't dated me. Have you ever had a boyfriend spend 6 days in $1,000 theming your bathroom to Jimmy Buffett for you, so you would feel more comfortable living at his house? You haven't dated me. Have you ever had a boyfriend put $800 worth of tires on your car while you were at work to make sure that you got safely to South Carolina through the mountains in the winter time? because your safety is his utmost concern. You haven't dated me. When you go out of town, does your boyfriend come over to your condo and put in a new water softener and a lighted makeup mirror and a new ceiling fan in the bedroom? In the condo he insisted you shouldn't buy because it would separate you. You haven't dated me. If your boyfriend ain't this kind of boyfriend, then you're dating the wrong guy. And I am lonely for no reason.
Man, these guys really just don't get it, do they? Most of this stuff is not making you sound like a dream boyfriend or anything like that. They are making you sound like an overbearing, obsessive nightmare that any woman who values her freedom and independence at all is going to avoid like the plague. Like women, in general at least, do not want to be all their partner thinks about. They want their partner to have a life outside of the relationship. Because being someone's entire world puts an unhealthy amount of pressure on you. Sucks up all of your time, energy, and attention, and leaves you afraid to exit the relationship, regardless of how you actually feel about it, out of fear that your partner might not be able to cope without you. Women also don't tend to want the men in their lives to make major decisions for them without any consultation. And I'd hazard a guess that they don't want them running around behind their back, making changes that they didn't agree to, and spending exorbitant amounts of money on them, either, because that's just depriving them of their autonomy. And the financial aspect is pretty clear emotional manipulation too. Because who's going to want to upset someone that they're literally indebted to, right? Radical idea incoming here, but if you want women to like you, and you want your relationships to work out, why not try actually treating women as equals, respecting their boundaries and their independence, and taking things slowly like a normal person, rather than getting creepy obsessive overnight. Believe it or not, women are really not that demanding or difficult to please. Generally speaking, at least, trying this hard is really overdoing it. And the self-pity isn't helping either. So I can only recommend going back to basics. Less is more, you know, because yeah, this ain't it. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed becoming acquainted with these lovely gentlemen, and that you got something out of my commentary. What do you think? Do we all need to stop bullying nice guys? Are modern, Western women a complete mess? Does the American dream require an attractive wife? Does being a good boyfriend mean spending thousands of dollars on stuff that your girlfriend didn't ask for? Which of these guys was the nicest? Let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, or I'll get big, muscular Brad to come around and steal yo girl. Just kidding, haha. Anyway, catch you later.